Mandala and Sadguniya doctrines. This ancient theory prevalent since Rig Veda times and known with different names like Digvijaya doctrine in King Rama's regime was based on the primary enemy. The primary enemy lies in the neighborhood and enemy of enemy is friend. Mandala meaning circle of the states was used by Kautilya to protect a geometrical layout of the then existing political realities in the contextual backdrop of international relations. Kautilya in his Arthashastra, the first ever treatise on diplomatic practice, involved a comprehensive theory for the purpose of state security and survival. For him, power and sources are interrelated, therefore power acquisitions and expansions is the main aim of any state facing intellectual physiological success. As regards international relations, Kautilya gave importance to geography and economy foundation of a state as the necessary determinants. A centralized government set of possessing control over far-flung areas was not possible in ancient India due to the obvious lack of advanced means of transport and communication. The prevalent scenario was that of stronger states annexing the weaker ones in the neighborhood in order to expand their kingdom, and the weaker states agreed to pay tribute to the stronger ones so as to enjoy independence. It is from this that Kautilya's strategy of six-fold foreign policy, Sadguniya Siddhanta, involves, which was to be applied as the situation demanded to subdue the natural enemies in the form of neighbors. Sandhi means treaty. Vigraha means break a treaty and start a war. Asana means sit neutral in wait of opportunity time. Yan means mobilization of troops. Samasraya means joining hand with those having similar aims. Bhava. Daidi Bhava means dual strategy of friendship with one enemy and enmity with the other. The Mandala doctrine explaining the ruling universe and the construction of a state, desires of expansion or consolidation was central to Kautilya foreign policy. It projects a matrix comprising a maximum of 12 type of states and the probable ways of dealing with each of them. The position of states as per the Mandala doctrine is thus Vijigishu, the king who aspires to be the conqueror. Ari shares border with Vijigishu, an enemy. Mitra, friend or an ally, or Vijigishu share border with Ari. Ari Mitra, friend of Ari, share border with Mitra. Mitra, friend or an ally of friends. Ari Mitra, friend of enemy's friend. Parsnigraha, enemy in the rear of the Vijigishu. Akranda, friend in the near behind Parsnigraha. Asara, friend of Parsnigraha behind Akranda. Asara, friend of Akranda behind Parsnigraha. Madhyama, indifferent kingdom. Udasina, Neutral kingdom. The focal premise of the Mandala doctrine lies in the locating the permission of a kingdom as an enemy or ally viz intending conquer and the kingdom's spatial placement in the mandala. Here it is important to note that in mandala doctrine it is not essential for state to have a geographical circular expanse. They may be placed linear as well. Kautilya treat the Bhijigasu, the conqueror or the ambitious king as the reference point of the mandala theory and advocates for basic circle. Circle 1, Bhijigasu his friend's friend. Circle 2, Ari, enemy of Bhijigasu, his friend's friend. Circle 3, Madhyama, the different king, his friend's friend. Circle 4, Udasina, the neutral king, his friend's friend. The mandala system offers an ordering principle of states whereby it is argued that a direct neighbor is an enemy Ari, while an indirect neighbor is a friend Mitra. As goes a common saying, enemy of my enemy is one's friend. It has therefore been put forth by Kautilya that the first and third circles would be hostile to the Bhijigasu state, while second and fourth would be friendly. This is not an iron law, through and expectation would always be there. Nonetheless, the victor's policy should be to turn as many of the kings as possible into allies or take neutral position. Kautilya has stressed upon diplomatic maneuvers and espionage activity. His diplomacy emphasized conciliation, appeasement, danda, use of force, and Veda dividing besides illusions and neglect for the purpose of dispute settlement, whether in danda is to be employed as the last resort only. He had presented a system of envoys to carry out diplomatic relations and has discussed classification of enemy, their qualifications, status, immunity, duties, salary, etc. in much details. An envoy must also be sweet-spoken, persuasive, industrious, well-versed in sciences, and possessed of the ability to read others' minds from their mannerism. Kautilya described the duties of an envoy as sending information to his king, ensuring maintenance of the term of a treaty, upholding his king's honors, acquiring allies, instigating decisions among the friends of his enemy, conveying secret agents and drop troops into enemy territory, suborning the kinsmen of the enemy to his own king's side, acquiring clandestinely games and other valuable material for his own king, asserting secret information and showing valor in liberating hostages held by the enemy. He further stipulates that no involves should ever be harmed, and even if they deliver an unpleasant message, they should not be detained. Considering espionage system of much importance, he has provided for both permanent and mobile species, and has approved of secret agents who killed enemy leaders and sowed seeds of discord among them, women as weapons of fire and means of vengeance, use of religion and superstition to bluster the king's enemy soldiers. Misinformation amongst various ways. Cynical in the present context, he went on to emphasize that foreign relations are to be determined on the basis of relations calculation of self-interest rather than being driven by ethical consideration. Pursuance of his foreign policy, Kautilya believed in following principles. 1. King would enhance his kingdom's resources and power to embark upon a conquest campaign. 2. Elimination of enemies. 3. Rearing alliance. 4. Adopt prudent course of action. 5. Peace to be preferred to war. 6. King must behave as just in both victory and defeat, practicing human treatment of conquered soldiers and subjects.